The blazer is all but done now, after pulling a few all-nighters this week. I've been texting back and forth with Neil. He's as insufferable in text as he is in person, and we decided on a date where he can come fit the blazer. I guess the most fun part out of this whole arrangement was when I woke him up with a text of mine asking him to remeasure his armlets at 2 a.m. in the morning. He belittled me as expected, but actually gave me the measurements. The sucker. I didn't really need those measurements. I just wanted to wake him up at an ungodly hour so that he could suffer with me, considering I've been staying up this late for a few days in a row. Misery loves company after all. So here I am, anxiously waiting for Neil to drop by after working hours. Finally, I get to be done with this guy. The bell rings and the door opens. Neil walks in, looking quite posh and self-assured. There's always this overconfident aura around him. Good morning, he greets me. I nod my head at him. Come with me to the back. I lead him to the sewing room so that I can fit and make any small adjustments to the blazer. Neil follows me quietly, but I can feel his eyes burn a hole in my back. It's uncomfortable. Speaking of uncomfortable, I wonder if he'll react the same way again like last time whenever I touched him, jerking away from me as if I'm something disgusting. I mentally shake my head. He's a weird one, but after today, it should all be over. I quickly grab the blazer that's prepped and hanging on the wall, then hand it over to Neil. In a deliberately slow move, Neil takes it over and inspects it with a hawk eye. He slides the fabric through his fingers, looks at the lining and the craftsmanship, and I start to feel pretty nervous about it all. To be honest, I'm preparing myself for his harsh words and criticism because I know that's exactly what he'll say. However, Neil doesn't say a word, and he slides his arm into the sleeves and puts the blazer on. He turns to face the mirror and check himself out, twisting his body from side to side to examine every angle. He looks quite dapper in the blazer. It suits him, but I can already see a few alternations I need to make. It's a bit too wide at the waist. I know it's Neil and all, and I shouldn't slave away for a guy like him, but it's against my principles to create sloppy garments. So I ask him, impatient for his reaction. Neil sighs and closes his eyes for a bit. It's not anything remarkable, and it's a bit too wide at my waist. My cheeks are already glowing pink, and I can't help but glare at him, even though he's right about the last part. What a thankless man. But it's passable, decent enough to wear. Just a few small adjustments, and people might actually compliment me for wearing it. I blinked at Neil. Was that a compliment? I stare at him in shock, at a loss of words. Neil notices me staring at him, and he gives me an indignant huff. Well, are you going to continue to stand there and stare at me in awe, or are you going to fix your mistakes? He sneers at me. He quickly takes the blazer off and hands it over to me. Quit your whining. I'm doing this for free, I snap at him. I take the blazer and hop on over towards my sewing machine and start to narrow the waistline. It should be a quick adjustment, so it doesn't take long before I finished. The sound of the sewing machine's needle plucking down fills the room, and Neil is tapping his foot on the ground impatiently. Once I'm finished, I hand it over to him and he tries it on once more. Neil looks at himself in the mirror. The fit is a lot better now. Alright, this seems adequate enough, he says. I sigh in relief. I'm finished. Neil awkwardly fiddles around with the cuffs of the blazer as if he doesn't know what to say at the moment, but then he finally does speak up. Someone might actually want to try and find out who the tailor is. At least its quality shouldn't put me to shame. I look at him weirdly. Is this another compliment? I can't tell for sure. It's so awkwardly worded. Are you so worried about what people might think about you? I ask. Neil raises an eyebrow at me in the mirror, then shakes his head. I don't waste my time worrying on inconsequential issues like that. Your actions say otherwise, though, I say softly with a roll of my eyes. Neil definitely cares about what people think of him. Just look at how much he cares what a blazer should look like. Neil turns around to face me. No one has the time to be worrying about what the world thinks of them. They only really care about what a select few people have to say, says Neil in a low and serious voice. I'm a bit taken aback by his response, as it sounds mature and well thought out, and I hadn't expected that coming out of the mouth of Neil, of all people. It actually makes me curious if he had someone in mind when he said that. So I look at it with curious eyes. I wonder who those people are. Does Neil even have anyone he cares about? Does that mean you have a select few people whose opinion of you matters? Neil's cheeks flush a little bit with pink, but he turns his back on me to continue inspecting himself in the mirror. He doesn't say anything. As Neil is still checking himself out in the mirror, he speaks up. You know, I'll be at a party next month. People will be wearing the most beautiful costumes from around the world. I'm sure even someone like you could learn something from seeing them. I bite on my lip and frown at him for changing the subject. What is he getting at here? And why are you telling me? I figured you'd be interested in masquerade ball. What with you playing dress up all of the time? Neil shrugs nonchalantly as he finally steps away from the mirror. I make clothes. I don't play. I stress the words, feeling insulted. He hand waves what I said, same thing. Then he leans down with his elbow onto my crafting table. Are you interested? Interested in what? I roll my eyes at him. You don't have to act coy. I know even someone like you would love to be invited to a ball, no matter how low a status they have. My nostrils flare up in anger. Listen here, Uneo. Under no circumstance am I interested. So I've got an invitation right there, here. Neo completely talks over me and he takes something out of his back pocket. It's a cream-colored envelope. He shifts it between his fingers, looking smug and full of himself like always. Even you would be grateful to be invited to such a high-profile event. You could create your own costume and show off your work. Neil smiles at himself. You should be thanking me for even thinking about giving you an invitation. How dare he talk about me like that? I take the envelope out of his hand and slam it on the counter. Who says I even want to attend? Don't just go ahead and make decisions for me. Neil looks taken aback, but then he shakes his head a little and his arrogant face is back to normal. There's a lot of people, celebrities even, who show off their various designer costumes. I think it would be wise to accept this invitation if you want to make a name for yourself as a tailor there. It's an opportunity for you to create some connections. He's got a point. If it's anything like he describes, people would be flaunting their costumes and perhaps I could make a name for myself and snatch some celebrity as a client. But I don't really want to admit this to Neil. My pride won't allow it. My eyes are focused on the envelope. I'm conflicted about it. I thought I was going to stop seeing Neil around anymore, but now he's waving this invitation around in my face that could definitely be good for my business. I really don't know what to do. And what do you want in return? I finally ask. There's gotta be a catch. No way would Neil offer this to me for free. There's a sly smile on Neil's lips. I might give it to you if you beg, he says gleefully. I stare at him, my eyes glazing over as if I'm watching the most boring documentary on earth. Neil doesn't seem to like my reaction. He probably expected something else, perhaps an excuse to start quibbling with me again. He huffs. Fine, I am giving this to you for free, no strings attached. Why do I find that difficult to believe? I am suspicious of Neil's motives. Are you really going to turn down such a generous gift? If it means he might blackmail me into something again, then yes. Anything Neil offers to me for free has to be treated as suspicious. Who knows what he's up to? I'm just questioning your motives. Neil bites down on his lips, clearly becoming more irritated the longer I keep refusing his invitation. I was simply going to show you what a master tailor's work looks like. My private tailor has already been working on my costume for months now. Ah, so you just want to show off in front of me? I don't want to parade around like a peacock. That definitely sounds like you want to parade around like a peacock to me. I cut him off. But I do want to give you the opportunity to see other people's work on costumes. I figured it would be right up your alley. and it opens up on your connections. Neil finishes ignoring my commentary. I stare at him long and hard. What he's saying sounds decent. In fact, it does sound like a great opportunity for me. The words themselves aren't bad. It's that Neil is saying them that is making me wary of any other ulterior motive. I'm trying to figure out why he would want me there, other than to rub it in my face that his costume is so much better than mine. Or perhaps he wants to humiliate me in front of hundreds of other people just because my costume isn't up to par. He probably thinks I can't do it. Yes, that's probably it. He wants to see me fail. Well, I guess I'll just have to prove him wrong. Fine, I say, grabbing the envelope again. I'll accept, and I'll make the best costume out of them all. Great, Neil smiles as he says this. I wasn't expecting him to look so cheerful all of a sudden. All the more reason to be on my toes and wonder what he's planning. Neil doesn't just smile like that. He's usually got a scheming face or an angry face, not a cheerful face. That's not part of his emotional vocabulary. Then I'll see you there, he says. Thank you for the blazer and have a good night. Neil leaves, still wearing the blazer I made for him. Unable to contain my curiosity, I open up the envelope. You are invited to the annual Forrester Masquerade Ball. Wear a mask so no one can tell your true identity. Hide it well. From 8 o'clock till midnight on October 10th. There's an address to the venue on the back. Just you wait, Neil. I'll make the best costume yet and wow you.